Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus desk with me and Rochelle Legrand.
How are you, Taylor? How's it going?
You know, I was telling everyone I'm wearing the bright colors, but I'm feeling so drained.
Yeah?
I need more of that sun. I need to step outside and just like soak it up.
Please, please, please. I don't know. I think it's that midweek slump that's kind of gotten to us. I don't know about you guys, but definitely us here. Somebody else said that to me in the office today, too. I was walking in the hallway, and I said, okay, so it's not just me.
It's all of us. We're all feeling it.
Yeah, but you know what can cheer you up?
Studio 10 getting us pumped up.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad you did. So, yeah, we've got a lot of really, really great stories today. We have a very packed show, too, on top of that. First, today is National Women in Sports Day.
All right.
Yeah, so actually,
shout out to the women.
Exactly, and I feel like a lot of times, especially lately, you know, we're talking about the Olympics, but a lot of women in sports have been making those big national headlines and whatnot. So today, we're going to have a few of them, not the ones that are making national headlines, but we are going to talk a lot about that today on Studio 10 because over the weekend, the Women's Sports Leadership Conference was held, which isn't just about, you know, our ladies on the field and on the track and whatnot, but the people who surround them and how to be a better coach and how to be a better, you know, just a supporter and finding ways to advocate for them that perhaps they're not able to do for themselves.
Yeah. There's a lot of challenges they face for sure, and so having that support group and knowing how to support them, that goes such a long way.
It's always, a lot of times there's a need, we want to help, but we're not exactly sure how to do that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today, which is exciting. Plus, for
girl power on this Wednesday.
Always girl power on Studio 10. Yes. Especially today. Another thing we're going to cover from one woman in sports to another, we're having Chef Leah Moore. She's back on Studio 10 today, and we're going to talk about some vegan recipes.
She brings in good-looking food, okay? And you wouldn't
good
think...
tasting, too.
And if you're not a vegan person, you're looking at this still, and you're like, oh, that looks good. Okay, I might want to try that.
I'm not vegan, but sometimes she makes me think, you know, maybe it is better on the other side.
I'm like, oh, can I taste it?
Yeah. So today we are going to have some vegan chopped cheese sliders that you guys can actually make at home.
For the Super Bowl, perhaps, or whatever else.
Exactly, exactly.
I love that.
It's funny, we were just talking about this in the office, too. We were like, well, what if you're not vegan and you want to eat that, but this was specifically here for people who are? I said, well, today she's going to show us how to triple the recipe.
Oh, there you go.
Just in case.
You can take seconds, thirds, and then everyone can still have it. There you go.
And you know me, I like to take it home. That's tomorrow's meal.
Well, Rochelle is a great chef herself. I always take home leftovers from your place, too. I'm like, I'm going to eat this, bringing it to work tomorrow. I don't have to cook, and I'm eating good.
Now you said that, I think I should make I'm going to make more spinach and artichoke dip on Sunday, too. So
that was good. You need Rochelle's recipe. So good.
We haven't had one of those in a while. Actually, I should. I think I need to.
Okay, well, there you go.
But that's just only a few of the stories that we have. Plus, Nicole is going live from Zoe Life Spa and Wellness Center.
Oh, wait, that sounds relaxing. I'm jealous. Nicole, I could use that right now.
She is resting, relaxing, recharging, something we all need on this Wednesday afternoon.
Yes.
But something that's been trending a lot are these red light therapies and UV light kits and whatnot. So she's actually going to walk us through that and talk about what some of the benefits are and how this really helps the lymphatic system. I know that's something a lot of people have been focusing on in terms of their health these days. So she's going to walk us through all these. So she'll be resting and reach some charge on commercial break.
I had some problems with acne. The people always said, you know, do the lymphatic drainage with your face. You want to take all the fluids and make sure, and there's a certain pattern in motion you have to do to really help move those fluids around and just get the toxins out, rejuvenate, right?
She does a really good job at explaining to you. So Nicole's going to make sure she walks us through these things step by step. And yes, they're fun to do, but there's a big reason for it. Yeah. So we have that. And plus, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. I told you it's a packed show. 1 week from today, lovebirds out there. You got to get it ready, whether it's flowers, chocolates, or maybe loving yourself. But not everybody is in love. So Claudia is finding out, why is online dating so hard? That is a great question. It is a great question.
I would love to know the answer to that. I'm sure many people would.
Okay, well, listen, Taylor, tune in at 3 p.m. We're going to have all of it, and just in case you miss it, you can head to YouTube and go to WI Like Studio 10 and subscribe. This way you won't miss a single thing. Or I'm sure you guys are going to watch today, but
you have to.
Even if you don't, and you need to go back and write those recipes or figure out what you're doing wrong when you're online dating, we'll have all those answers for you.
Thank you, Rasha. I will be sure to be tuning in. But if you're like me, you're a little busy around that time. I know maybe you're getting ready to watch First at 4. That's what I'll be doing, getting ready for that. So if you don't have time, you can always go back to their YouTube page at WILX Studio 10. That's typically where I like to go for all the latest videos that they're posting on their pages. Otherwise, you are also able to go to any of their other social media pages. Check that out. I'll bring it up one more time for you. Facebook, or not Twitter, sorry, X. I have to get used to saying that. They changed over. TikTok, if you want their email, or Facebook, Instagram, anything of that nature, go ahead and follow them on their social media handles right there on your screen. And it's also great not only to go back, rewatch videos, but they also are very interactive throughout their show and asking questions. They want to hear from you, get you involved on Studio 10. So check it out. At WILX Studio 10, again, is all you need to know. And I do want to give a live look outside now. This is a live look over US 127. And you can see that it's a little bit more cloudy out there. I know we had some more blue skies earlier this morning, at least earlier overlooking US 127. So this is a live look outside. We have Justin, who is busy getting ready for Studio 10. He's got a lot of work right now. So I'm going to show you the 10-day forecast. You can still stay up to date with the latest on everything in the forecast. Whoop! We have some cords around.
Sorry.
I know. You almost pulled me down, Crystal.
Sorry.
Could have been tragic. But what's not tragic is the forecast, okay? It's feeling great out there. In fact, we are heading into we're ending the first week of February today. But as you can see, going into the second week, it is feeling like early spring. It is feeling great outside. Take advantage of this. You have the 50s, and then even the weekend, still some sun, going into the 40s. And as you see, as you move on into next week, going into the 30s. But hey, overall for February, feeling great. Of course, Justin Bradford's going to have a lot more coming up during Studio 10 and First at 4 today, followed by Andy Provenzano covering your forecast for our 90 minutes of news. And then, of course, you can always stay up to date with our First Alert weather app. Download it for free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store. You get your hour-by-hour radar, satellite, and a description, and also traffic alert updates as well in case anything happens out on the roadways. So again, make sure to go download that. Until then, this is your 10-day forecast. A great looking view at that. We do have Erin Bowling here to tease what she has coming up today.
Yes, hello.
Hello, hello. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
of course.
So today we're going to be talking about a new gun safety law that's going to be taking effect on the 13th. It's going to be requiring gun owners to secure their guns if there is a child on the property, or if there will be a child on the property. You got to have your guns unloaded and locked up, whether that be just a trigger lock in the gun safe, that sort of thing. So I'm actually going to be hopping on a Zoom call at 3 o'clock with Michigan Responsible Gun Owners. It's a coalition. We're going to be talking about their thoughts on the new law taking effect. So if you guys have any questions, you want me to ask them, feel free to drop them in the chat here on our live stream, and I'll be sure to run that by them. But also, there was a press conference earlier today with some gun safety advocates. They also spoke on the law. Yesterday we had Michigan's Attorney General Dana Nessel speaking on the new gun safety storage laws. Yesterday we had Jennifer Crumbly. She was sentenced guilty for involuntary manslaughter. A piece of that puzzle, that case was they didn't have their gun at home, locked up, safely secured, that sort of thing.
Yes, so all the gun laws, again, tying in with the Jennifer Crumbly trial, again, found guilty, 4 counts involuntary manslaughter. Also, next week, Tuesday, I believe the 13th, that is 1 year since the mass shooting on Michigan State University's campus, so also tying in all the gun laws to that. Erin, you have on your Facebook page here a way that people are able to ask questions, or what would you like them to do on here?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions you want me to ask for the Michigan Responsible Gun Owners group, feel free to comment, or if there's anything you guys want me to touch on today, feel free to let me know. I love to hear from you guys. So what we do the work for is all of our wonderful viewers at home. So we want to hear from you. You want to see what you want to hear, what you're wondering, all that good stuff. So yeah, don't be afraid to chime in.
There you go. All right. Anything else you want to add, Erin?
No, I think that's about it. But yeah, News 10 at 6. That's when the story will be airing. Again, it's a kind of a recap on the new law that's going to be taking effect on the 13th, as far as safe gun storage goes. and then speaking to some local groups that are really passionate in that area. So.
All right.
Yeah.
And News 10 at 6?
Yes, News 10 at 6. Be sure to tune in. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Erin.
All right. Thank you, Taylor.
And of course, here's what we have coming up first at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. Again, I will show where you can find more on Erin's story and actually, get interactive and ask questions. By asking those questions, you can find out more into this story. There we go. I almost tripped over my tongue there. So, coming up on first at 4 today in Place of Mid-Michigan Matters, talking about felon voting rights. So I know here in Michigan, including myself, receiving those absentee ballots, we actually had an interview on that not too long ago with Lansing City Clerk Chris Swope, talking about early absentee voting and getting those ballots. Well, early voting begins February 17th. And so tying into the voting season, we'll be talking about felon voting rights coming up first at 4 in Place of Mid-Michigan Matters today. Coming up News 10 at 5, Fat Tuesday is less than a week away, and area bakeries are prepping for those big punchki orders. Ooh boy, that is gonna get you hungry. So Kellen Buddy stopped by one this morning and tells us how they're preparing for the sugar rush. I can tell you, it is going to make you hungry. You're gonna wanna eat all this food, but you're just going to have to tune in a little bit later to see what Kellen was able to see earlier this morning. Again, that's News 10 at 5. Coming up, News 10 at 5:30, Sparrow is getting a big donation from Spirit Halloween after customers bought costumes, decorations, and more last fall. So we're at Sparrow for the donation presentation, and it's very interesting. You'll hear a lot more on how Spirit Halloween has been able to help Sparrow with their efforts and continuing to help their centers with these donations. Then coming up, News 10 at 6, it's a tale that has a lot of people talking. The Mason Police Canine in the middle of a custody dispute between the city and her handler who recently resigned. So that is what we have coming up today. First at 4 and then followed by our 90 minutes of news. But the last one with News 10 at 6, Amaya Kuznicki will be there for the reunion because now the dog and the handler will be back together. So a very cute, good feeling story right there. That is what we have coming up. And then again, following News 10 at 6, Aaron Bowling talking about the gun laws. So you're actually able to go right here, check that out. Go to our YouTube page, WILX, Aaron Bowling, and you will be able to see she posted not too long ago. In fact, it's her first post. You'll see it right at the top. Under a new law going into effect next week, unattended firearms have to be unloaded and locked up if minors will be on the property. So again, she says she's speaking with lawmakers, a coalition, advocates. That story coming up News 10 at 6. And if you have any questions regarding these gun laws, you can go onto Aaron's page. Again, WILX Aaron Bowling on Facebook. Scroll down, leave a comment, and then she will ask those questions to the different organizations, groups that she is talking to today. So a great way for you to get involved and ask those questions and also receive those answers. So again, go to Aaron Bowling's page, WILX Aaron Bowling on Facebook, and you will be able to hear more and hopefully get those answers later on today, News 10 at 6. But this is what we have coming up from our other reporters in our 90 minutes of news. We're going to be hearing from Riley Connell coming up, News 10 at 5. Riley.
Hey Taylor, good afternoon. Well, Governor Gretchen Whitmer joined us on this podium just a few minutes ago to talk about the state's financial goals for 2025. Now, it's a smaller budget than in years previous, but there's a big focus on education, on fixing roads, on childcare, and on bringing more people to Michigan. Coming up on News 10 at 5, we'll give you a full breakdown of the 2025 budget. We'll take it back to you at the desk.
All right, thank you, Riley. Again, focusing more on Michigan's economy with the budget. All right, we have News 10's Mars Anderson coming up News 10 at 5:30 today. Mars.
Hi, Taylor. Mars Anderson here outside of the United Association Local 333, where Pete Buttigieg will be hosting a labor roundtable highlighting some of the accomplishments of the Biden-Harris administration. So we're going to share a few of those remarks in our 90 minutes of news along with comments from Republicans, so stay tuned for that. Until then, I'm going to toss it back to the desk.
All right, thank you, Mars. And then last but not least, Justin Kent coming up News 10 at 6. Justin.
A brand new program for the state of Michigan, the My Learner's Wallet, is being spearheaded right here in Charlotte, Michigan. I'll have more on this story coming up for you guys in our 90 minutes of news.
All right, thank you, Justin. Again, that is what our reporters have coming up during our 90 minutes of news today. But of course, we have a lot more. I'll show it one more time if we pull it up. There we go. All right, so again, starting with first at 4, talking about felon voting rights as we have early voting beginning February 17th here in Michigan. And then also coming up during our 90 minutes of news, again, a Fat Tuesday preps. Kellen Buddy's going to show you the delicious sugary treat, punchkis. That is what we're talking about. So again, News 10 at 5, make sure to tune in. News 10 at 5:30, seeing how Spirit Halloween has been able to, after, costumes and decorations and everything bought last fall for Halloween, giving some of those donations and a good chunk of it to Sparrow. So you're able to see what those donations are doing for Sparrow and all of the great help. And then News 10 at 6, again, the reunion between the Mason police officer and then also the K9. So great story right there. Amaya Kuznicki will have more again coming up News 10 at 6 today. Last but not least, one more time, I'm just going to push ahead to this again. Go over here to WILX Aaron Bowling on Facebook, and you're able to leave those messages, those questions regarding the new gun laws going into effect next week. So again, Aaron's speaking with advocates and different group organizations across mid-Michigan to gain more insight and information for you. And you can also contribute to that by leaving those questions and comments on her Facebook page. So that is what we have coming up today during our 90 minutes of news. Something else that I want to talk about as we talking about the gun laws as we approach the 1-year mark of the mass shooting on Michigan State University's campus is the You're Not Alone mental health series, doing this all year long here on News 10. And every month we are talking about a different mental health topic, whether that is with addiction, whether that is with cyber mental health, or talking about anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, any sort of mental health challenge. We want to talk about it here on News 10 and know that you're not alone. So if you bring out your cell phone's camera, you can scan that QR code on your screen. It'll pull up a list of resources giving you a few different guidance options per county there. So for example, we have Clinton, Eaton, Ingham, Ionia, Jackson, Shiawassee. I'm probably missing a few counties as well. Oh, sorry about that. Let me bring this back up. And so if you go on there, scan that QR code, it'll bring you to that list of resources. Again, for each of the counties across mid-Michigan, we have a few resources listed out, whether that's counseling, behavioral or therapy, or a psychotherapist, psychiatrist. Go check that out, again, on the QR code for our You're Not Alone mental health series. Again, every month here, touching on a different topic with community members speaking on their own mental health journey. And then also talking with mental health professionals on ways that you can spot those signs and symptoms, that you can recognize and bring that awareness to the mental health challenge that you are facing, and breaking that stigma, getting out of that denial. So that is, again, what you can look forward to all year long here on News 10. One more time, I do want to show you the forecast, 10-day forecast. I know Justin wasn't able to share that because he's very busy, but he is coming up in just under 40 minutes here on Studio 10, so you're able to go check that out if you want to get more into the forecast. Of course, we are looking pretty great outside, just some of that cloud cover, but other than that, warming up and getting that sunshine, so that is feeling real good. I'll show a live look outside at Michigan State University. And you can see some of those clouds, but you can see that blue sky peeking out right above. So looking great on campus. It's dry out there. You can see that sun shining, at least giving some light. Maybe it's not too much in the sky, but hey, make sure to go enjoy, especially with the 50 degrees. So that is what we have coming up today here on News 10. You can always stay up to date online at WILX.com or download the First Alert Weather app or WILX News 10 app. Again, Studio 10 comes up at 3 o'clock today, just under 40 minutes, followed by First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, everyone.